The game where the nice guys don't get a look in. Grab your way through Chicago, punch up New York, and jump on San Francisco. 3 indescribably nasty characters, which bear a remarkable likeness to King Kong, Godzilla, and the Wolfman. Need you to send them on a rampage in an enduring 150 days of destruction through 50 different cities. In Rampage, from Data East in 1988. Developed by Bally Midway and published for the NES by Data East. Also available on the Sega Master System, on the Atari, and Activision did a bunch of other versions too. Up to 3 simultaneous players can play. This is in the arcade edition. George, the gorilla, Lizzie, a lizard, and Ralph, the giant Arctic wolf, are created from mutant humans. When they were humans, George was a normal middle-aged man, Lizzie was a young woman, and Ralph was an elderly man. They were experimented on at Scum Labs. As monsters, they need to raise all the buildings in a high-rise city, to advance to the next level, eating people and destroying helicopters, tanks, taxis, police cars, boats, and trolleys along the way. We can jump and climb buildings, punch enemies in buildings. Buildings also take damage when jumped on by a monster. The player's monster receives damage from bullets, sticks of dynamite, shells, and so forth. Players punches from other monsters and from falls. Damage is recovered by eating appropriate food, such as fruit, roast chicken, or soldiers. If a monster takes too much damage, it reverts into a naked human and starts walking sideways off the screen, covering its genitals with its hand. While in this state, the player can be eaten by another player. The player continues, the human mutates back into a monster or flies in on a blimp off-screen with a full life bar. Smashing windows generally reveals an item or person of interest, which may be helpful or harmful. Helpful items include food or money. Dangerous ones include bombs, electrical appliances, and cigarettes. Some items can be both. A toaster is dangerous until the toast pops up, and a photographer must be eaten quickly before he dazzles the monster with its flash, causing it to fall. When a civilian is present, waving their hands out the window signaling for help, a player's point meter rapidly increments when the civilian is grabbed. Each player can hold only one type of person. George can hold a woman, Lizzie can hold a man, and Ralph can hold a businessman. This is not available in the NES version. The different ports of the game are fairly accurate, not super different. Rampage was ported to most home computer and video game consoles in the time, including the Atari 2600, the 7800, the Lynx, the Atari 8-bit, the Atari ST, the Commodore 64, MS-DOS, and IBM PCs, the ZX Spectrum, the Amstrad CPC, the NES, and the Sega Master System. The Atari Lynx adds a special fourth character named Larry, a giant rat. The NES version excludes Ralph and reducing the number of monsters to 2. Rampage was included as part of the Arcade Party Pack for the PlayStation in 1999. In 2003, Rampage was included in Midway Arcade Treasures, which is a compilation of arcade games for the Nintendo GameCube, PlayStation 2, and Xbox. The game is also available as a bonus feature in Rampage Total Destruction. Tiger Electronics released a handheld LCD version of the game in the 90s, and it was ported to the iOS as part of the Midway Arcade app. The Amstrad CPC port has in-game music ripped from the basement level of the arcade game Trojan, though strangely Trojan was never ported to the Amstrad. A finished version was completed for the ZX Spectrum by Clive Townsend and was published by Elite Systems but was never officially released. Far as I can tell, this is the same Trojan game that we were going to be looking at a little later. That is a pretty decent Capcom game. Different, but good. In July 2000, Midway released Rampage, along with other Williams Electronics games, to Shockwave for use in an online app to demonstrate the power of Shockwave, entitled the Shockwave Arcade Collection. The conversion was created by Digital Eclipse. Unlike the original arcade game, most of the home ports actually end, rather than repeating levels endlessly. About a decade later, a sequel was released entitled Rampage World Tour, later followed by console-exclusive games including Rampage 2 Universal Tour, Rampage Through Time, and Rampage Puzzle Attack. The latest game in the series is Rampage Total Destruction. And it's Rampage. About that. In November 18, 2011, it was announced that a theatrical film adaptation based on the game is in tentative development by New Line, with John Rickard set to direct. So, who knows whether that's going to happen or not. But it's Rampage. What's not to love about Rampage? What's not to know about Rampage that you don't already know now? Have you played Rampage? No? then go play it.